Steven Correño, KO Water Sports. We're here in the presence of a legend, Al Bernstein. Man, this is
Tell my wife that the next time I leave the garage door open, and maybe you can help me with that.
Legends make mistakes, man. We all make mistakes, brother. None of us are perfect. No, I didn't say Jesus. You know? Now we're here at the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. Obviously, 3 classes, a bunch of names, a bunch of legends to talk about. But one specifically I want to talk to you about, right behind us here, Jose Luis Castillo.
Oh, yes.
You called his fight, you called it the best fight you've announced in 35 years of broadcasting. Just describe to me the emotions of watching that, being ringside, being so close, hearing the blows, and that whole thing processing the way it did.
Yeah, it's a great question because and nobody ever gets tired of talking about that fight, do they? You know, Jose Luis Castillo and Diego Corrales fought what I think might be the best lightweight championship fight of all time. I didn't see all of them, of course, and I wasn't around for. Contrary to popular belief, I wasn't around for all of them. But
you were ringside for Willie Pep and all.
I did not see them. Well, I was very young, but the fight was so extraordinary because not only was it really exciting, it was fought at such a high skill level, wasn't it? You know, Diego Corrales is I think largely responsible for it being such a great fight. Only in this way. He decided to not try to box, which everyone thought he was going to try and do in that fight. And it shown in one of his previous fights he was much better at then, right? He decided to engage Jose Luis Castillo, and they both engaged. It was 10.5 rounds of hellacious action. Not only was it a great action fight, it had such drama at the end. The 2 knockdowns. The mouthpiece goes out. Little controversy about that, and then. You know, Corrales comes back with that one right hand that stunned Jose Luis Castillo, and then from there he was able to stop him. And it was the best fight I've announced. I did Hagler Hearns, but this was Hagler Hearns times 4, right? Because of so many rounds. And whatever those men ever did in their career, and they both had great accomplishments. That one fight makes them icons forever.
Definitely does, man. I was talking to Corrales about it yesterday, and I asked him without thinking about it, but I was like, what fight do fans talk to you about the most? And of course he said Corrales. I'm like, oh yeah, that obviously makes sense.
Yeah, Jose Luis Castillo is. And listen, let's not forget, Jose Luis Castillo may have had the best fight of anyone against Floyd Mayweather Jr., because that first fight, many believe it was either a draw or Castillo won that fight, and you can make a strong case for it. Now, Floyd came back and won the second fight, in which Castillo fought very well also. So Jose Luis Castillo did a lot of good things in his career, but it's dwarfed by that fight because it's so extraordinary.
I mean, a lot of fights are dwarfed by that one, right? by that fight, because that was incredible. Yeah, man, an incredible fight. Hopefully that on paper at least, right? Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Hopefully we get it. You know, the old adage is, right, that everyone has problems with southpaws and even southpaws, right?
Yeah, right.
So if you're Terence Crawford, is it still beneficial to turn southpaw against the Errol Spence?
You know what? That's a very good question. You know, I'm hoping that fight gets made. If it does, I'm pretty sure I'll be announcing it. And that's one of the big questions that when I look at video and dig in, I'm going to have to answer in the keys to victory and all those things. And it's a $64,000 question. If you're Bud Crawford, do you switch? How much do you switch? Do you box? Do you engage Spence more? And of course, Spence has a lot of questions to ask himself about Bud Crawford, and he's wondering which Crawford is he going to see. Because the one thing that's probably underestimated about Crawford is that while he's a really good boxer, he's got pop as well. And you know, I think that probably for Crawford, the prototype fight was the Sean Porter fight against Errol Spence, and that's probably the one fight that he looks at and says, if I can duplicate some of those things and then do it on my level, I can get the win. We'll see. And of course, Spence, who fought terrific fight against Ugas, coming back after another long layoff, he's going to go downstairs to that body from the first second of the fight. It's going to be. It should be great.
I feel like it has all the ingredients to be incredible. Last subject I want to talk to you about, man, the heavyweights. Usyk, you know, just recently, man, incredible. Defended the belts against Anthony Joshua, you know, former undisputed cruiserweight champion. First one, obviously, since Holyfield's kind of copying Holyfield's, like blueprint. Who is the best heavyweight in the world right now for you, and how does Fury Usyk play out, do you think?
Well, it's between those two guys, right? Because Usyk's beaten Joshua, Fury beat Wilder, and they did it enough to know that, they're the two people, and I think they're going to fight. So, and that's one thing. Boxing now these days, we're talking about Spence and Crawford maybe getting made. Boxing's making fights that people want to see for the most part. I don't doubt that fight's going to be made. You and I are going to be standing here maybe next year at the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame, and we'll be able to answer that question because we will find out from the two. I think the height and length of the way Fury uses it makes him a little bit of a favorite over Usyk. I think he'll go in a slight betting favorite. Whether or win, that's the question.
We'll see how it works. Al, thank you so much for your time, brother. It's a blessing. Thank you.